Off. Excellent. Well, welcome. Today is Monday, June 16th, and we got some finally getting some market movement a little bit, right? Um, Looking at Bitcoin first, we got a bounce right at 103 earlier last week, right? And I was bullish then. I was bullish then. I was bullish here. I was bullish here, and I'm bullish here. Effectively, any consolidation now at this level, even if we go up a little bit and then down again, is bullish, right? For the new all-time high, specifically because we've got multiple levels of confluence here. We have two flats. We have equal highs on this range. And as I said before, probably in my last stream, if you guys were here, this is not a smart money reversal. This is not an SMR. A lot of typical ICT traders were looking at this and they were like, oh yeah, let's short this. And when they shorted this, yes, we got a move. Yes, we got a little bit of a move. But in reality, what we're seeing now is the completion of this cycle, meaning we are going to take this high. After that, whether or not we can close underneath 102 is the question, right? If we can close underneath 112 is the main question on the weekly, right? On the weekly and the daily, because right now every time frame, every other high time frames, all are showing the exact same thing. This weekly extension, we closed above the high, above the range balance, and now we're going to seek the high. We're going to seek these equal highs right here. I'll make it as clear as day to you guys, right? Right there, we're going to seek those relative equals. But what's funny is this weekly extension, once we do seek that, if we go right above it on the daily, we're going to seek it. If we can close above it, then we'll just continue. If not, this is actually going to be the real all-time high, and then we will be going back down to 87 after that. So we got to just play it range by range and just go from there, right? So let's look at USDTD. Same thing applies here, right? I have this drawn up since May, early May, last month. There's been no changes to my plan whatsoever. The monthly extension still lands us all the way down at like 3.7. So we're going to see some pretty nice pumps still in the coming weeks / months. I'm talking big pumps. And once we do, because we already confirmed this 4.8 right here, right? So we confirmed the 4.8. We close anywhere below 4.8, which we're already below right now as I'm speaking. All that's going to happen is we're just going to go and make a massive manipulation green candle, huge, right? Really fast. Same plan applies. Nothing changed. If you guys were here with me last week, then you'll remember that I said the exact same thing. You know, there's no real changes to this. All this is low time frame noise, right? The high time frame monthly here still says the same thing. The high time frame weekly says the same thing. But what I'm going to be worried about is once we get down to 3.7, 3.4, that'll be when we look for shorts. And there's a few shorts I'm watching, but as of right now, nothing, no shorts from me at all. Only buying every single day. Buy, buy, buy. Can I say that enough? But shorting, if you guys are interested in shorting, full port. Yeah, basically full port. I mean, I am like already at, what is it? I'm like almost at 11% margin ratio, which is actually pretty high for me. I typically try and keep it under 6, but I'm like so confident in this pump that I would bring it up to like 12 to 14%, but I don't want to go too crazy, right? I don't want to go too crazy. I want to just go like maybe like 75% or 80% port, maybe not 100% port. Still got to practice some risk management, right? Funny. Well, with that said, if you guys are interested in shorts, we have to. Oh my, Taz, I swear to God, you're gonna make me bust out laughing here, dude. Oh my God. Oh, those comments, I swear. So if you're looking for shorts, if you're looking for shorts, look for shorts when we start to hit Solana. This is like if you were to pick like one coin and you say, I want to short this coin into oblivion, into hell and back in the fires of the pits of destruction, then Solana would be it. because of multiple reasons. This next quarterly cycle will probably bring us up past 200. When we get up past 200, this manipulation candle needs to close above 222. If we do not close above 222, if we consolidate, if we are unable to break it, even if we take daily closures under 222, guess what's going to happen, guys? It's going to fall off a cliff. It's going to go all the way back down to 33. So this is the short I'm planning. And I will be setting that up probably in the next like 4 to 5 weeks, right? Probably next month, roughly. So look out for that one next month, roughly. And I'll be shorting it down to 30. So that'll be perfect. That'll be great. But yeah, let's do BTC dominance. So as I said before on my previous streams, we went into my altcoin season box. We've actually made closures below. We are still just a hair above the current range. So we could still get a little bit, we could do a little bit more of a dump and push. But what's funny is this low time frame range on the low time frame, we're actually curling down, which is kind of hilarious because if we start to consider any sort of consolidation in this range, eventually what's going to happen is 64% is going to break, right? And then we're just basically going to fall off a cliff here too. And the same thing's going to happen. We made this very clean range, and the moment we start making closures underneath 6.2 fib on the 64% on the daily, right? So this coming weeks, the moment that starts happening, what we're going to see is this fall basically all the way back down to previous range balance, probably like 59, 58%. And it's going to be something that happens very fast. After that point, though, it's again the closure. So when that happens, it's going to be a weekly candle, and whether or not we actually close that week under 60 or we just manipulate right back up, completely possible, right? This is also completely possible, guys. This is where we need to stay completely like hyper vigilant when we see these kinds of pumps, because the pump that is going to happen is going to be a manipulation pump. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of time, right? But it's going to be a manipulation pump, meaning if you're going to be longing and full porting when the pump happens, you have to be careful, because what we're going to do is that weekly candle is going to extend to past 59. And if we, again, the same thing's going to happen. If we cannot close under 59 on the weekly, we're going to go straight back up to 67. Probably in the same week, maybe the second week, maybe the third week after that, right? So that is where we need to be careful. So I think this is where I'm like, I didn't get the exact reaction I wanted from this range, because I sort of wanted us to be in here more and consolidate on this bottom more. And because then we'd have a stronger bias for a high time frame bull case where we'd have a weekly and a monthly rejection against 66%. But now the market's telling me we're going to do some, crazy BS and mess with people. That's what it's basically saying, right? Because of this structure now, where if we just do a really fast wick down, the weekly closure now becomes the issue. So that's going to continue to be my bias. So impulsive move, weekly closure is the confirmation there in the 61%. If we can do that, great. If not, we're going straight back up and everything is dumping again. So on the high time frame, that's another reason why I want to start hedging with Solana once we reach past 200, right? So 200 is my magic level. It'll be 200 past 200 to basically 260, keeping the stop wide. I'm looking for a low time frame confirmation. I'll just keep basically adding to the short daily against this range. So, and then as soon as I get a low time frame confirmation, I'll start adding in high leverage with a tighter risk anchor, right? Against like 220 or 260 based on the range when we get there. But until then, don't even bother shorting in my mind. Because shorting is basically going to be like, you're going to be in for like 10 minutes and make $10 and be done. So I'm not here for $10. I'm here for thousands. Hopefully you guys are here to be millionaires like me. So let's see. What else? What other coins you guys looking at? AVAX. I'm gonna humor you a little bit because AVAX is the same thing as always, right? We actually supported this range. We have a weekly and a monthly SMR here already on the daily. So really the lowest we can go on this range would basically be 17. We could bounce here. That could happen. Or we could just go a little bit lower to like 17 and then bounce from there. But literally in this case, all roads lead to Rome, right? All roads lead to Solana pumping in the next like 2 weeks, roughly, up to 30 to 32. And then the same thing happens, right? If we are unable to get weekly closures above 32 and we see a massive impulse wick take out this range, what's going to end up happening is we're going to go all the way back to 10, right? So this, I'm going to leave this green structure up. It might not take this long. I like to, draw for dramatic effect, but effectively the range I would see is something like this, where we either bounce now or we bounce slightly below 19 to like 17, 18, and then bring it all the way up to like 30 to 40, and then at 30 to 40 would be the ranges to look to short. Because that would, the higher time frame there, we got a very clean structure, right? We got a very clean structure. If we can do something like that, then we'd basically bring it back down to 10. So I'll keep that up, and we'll go from there. Let's see. I want to short sold so badly we'll become millionaires. Yes, Casanova. Yes. Remember, no matter what the play is, always risk manage, right? You got to use a risk anchor. You got to use an SL. You got to use some sort of mechanism when you're trading. It doesn't need to be like a hard stop. It could be a soft stop. It could be a risk anchor. But there's so many tools out there for you, Casanova. And if you want to use one of them, great. If you want to use many of them, also great. Whatever you want to do to make money, that's really all that counts. But yes, Solana will be a very, very nice short, clean structure from this. And then BTTD falling is good for alts. And yes, so let's do ENA. I'll go through some of the questions you guys have now. Let's do Melania. I know that's one that you were looking at before. Melania also completely bottomed out. I mean, anyone in their right mind can look at a chart like this and be like, oh, do you want to short this? Maybe some people want to short this, but me personally, I see a chart like this, I'm like, who would want to short this, right? Or really, there's so much shorts piled up here, the liquidity is actually starting to shift, right? So this is on the daily. This is something that I'm watching as well. I got in a little too early, but it's still valid. I think the high time frame is completely still valid. What I'm waiting for now is I want to see a market structure break. I want to see 31 taken. I want to see this teal line basically play out. If this teal line plays out and we do a break of 31 and then retest, this would be an amazing, and I'm going to say absolutely amazing RR trade. Because if you just look at the range here, let me just expand this, right? I'll just keep expanding. I'll just keep expanding for you guys. Like, I'll go to the weekly, right? Okay, I'll keep zooming out a little bit. I'll keep zooming out a little bit. I'll keep zooming out a little bit. Do you get the point? Right? Who's shorting this? Don't. Period. End of sentence. Because as soon as we get this confirmation on the daily and we flip 31 cents, the all-time low is in. Guys, it's done. We're in. So I'm going to be taking this as well, probably right at to all-time high. Why not? Why not take this all the way past, I don't know, $14? Yeah, what RR is that? That's a 300 RR trade, guys. Who in their right mind is shorting this? Come on. $14. Let's take this to 14. How about that? Okay, how about what's next? Casper. I'm going to see if I can go through these pretty quickly. I actually have enough time, but let's see what we can do. So Casper, probably, as I said last week, and I'll say again, top picks along with XCH, Chia and Casper, probably the most bullish coins in existence. You name any coin, I will tell you that Chia and Casper is better than that coin. Bitcoin, Chia and Casper is better. Ethereum, Chia and Casper is better. XRP, Chia and Casper is better. You get the point. This is a monthly deviation cycle we're building on Casper, meaning as soon as we reclaim this range, we got equal highs on the monthly, guys. 2 cents. As soon as we reclaim this range here, we're going to go all the way up to 5, retest, and then we are gone. New all-time high. Easily. if you do standard deviation extensions, this could easily go way past 50 cents, easily. So I'm in this, I have spot, I have leverage, I'm 40x leverage on this one. This is amazing. The bottom's pretty much in right now. If you're not longing this, I don't know what you're doing with your life. So hopefully you're also in this as well. But basically what we want to see here is on the low time frame, we want to see a range. We want to see the range build here. We're in this deviation. If we can't make a lower low, we actually already made a higher low from this. Even though this is a relative equal, we made a higher low. We're breaking above the 7.9 fib right now. So literally, if we can consolidate here, that's bullish. If we can consolidate and even break above 12, just a little bit, then all that's going to happen is this is going to chop. It's going to chop up. It's going to look like choppy PA, but we're actually going to be building into higher time frame ranges. And what's going to happen is it's going to chop up. It's going to get choppy. It's going to deviate slightly, and then it's going to pop really, really fast. So I expect kind of something like green to play out. I'll delete these other squiggles because those are useless right now. But effectively green is what I expect to play out, right? We want to see this continue to build a range, and then possibly do another deviation here. We could probably go and deviate all the way down to like 11 again. But this is a hold, right? This is a hold, guys. I'm going to just keep holding this until I see. And let me rephrase this. Casper, spot chart. I'll zoom out for you guys. On the weekly, we got a 41,000% move to its previous range balance on the weekly. It is 1 cent right now, and its balance on the weekly is $7. That's 41,000%. So hopefully you guys are keeping your eyes peeled and are not sleeping on this. But that's a good one. So yes, I'm excited. I could just keep going on this forever. So let's do Chia, because that's the other one I'm also in love with right now. So for Chia, same thing applies. We actually already held. This is actually kind of hilarious because this sweep right here that we did just recently cleared out all this liquidity. There's literally no more liquidity left in this range. There's probably one. There's one here from the $10, and then one here from 9, and that's it. And we're already balancing. We're already rebalancing above almost above 11 now. Yeah, need more Caspers. Literally do not have enough Casper. I literally do not. I need to add more today and tomorrow and the day after that. I will keep adding more until we can complete this range. But for Chia, what'll be fun with this one is as soon as we start to close above 11, the same thing's going to happen, right? The exact same thing. We're rebalancing now. I'll say this much. We rebalance now. We possibly go back down to 10.6. We're consolidating a little bit longer than I expected. But if we go back down to 10.6, all it's going to happen is it's going to rebalance again. And then the next move to the high is going to break 11. And guess what, guys? Let me zoom out again. We got some weekly and monthly equal lows from that range. As soon as we break 11, this is the all-time low. We're never seeing this price again. In your history of life, ever, you will never see Chia under $11 as soon as we break it. Okay? So on the monthly, if we take this extension, we're taking our first leg up to 20. And then I'm going to double, triple, maybe quadruple my position once we get back down to 11. Because once we get back down to 11, we're going to be retesting that range low. And guess what? The next range extension brings us all the way to a new all-time high. Because there's literally no other IRL here. There's nothing. It's going to go into price discovery mode, right? And once you're in price discovery mode, you go into basically standard deviations, right? So I have TPs all the way up to 200, and then I have a moonshot at 650 or something. I think it's up 650, somewhere up here, right? So Chia, also amazing, holding on to that. I need more Chia. Do not have enough Chia. I will keep adding Chia daily as we consolidate this range, and we'll break 11, and then we're just going to take this new all-time highs. Cool. So A0, let's do A0. Oh, yes, Wheelie, I owe you that chart. I might as well tell you now. But basically A0, one of the things we did with A0 recently, I was actually way too early in this. I was actually a little upset. But one of the things I liked with this range is that we kept IRL open. So if you zoom out, actually, let me zoom out to the spot chart is clearer. Right? So we zoom out to here. We had on the monthly, we had a deviation here. So this means that it's completed its sell model, meaning all the sellers from this level have actually completed, and literally there's no more liquidity left in the sell side. We have 3 taps to the high, right? 1, 2, 3 on the monthly. Quarterly, there's none, right? There's no SMR in the quarterly. This is not an SMR, meaning as soon as we break this range, because this monthly, the CE was never tapped. 0.5, the balance, was never tapped on this quarterly level. So what does that mean? Liquidity on the short side was never tapped. So as soon as we close back on the monthly, right here, which is, I'll have this marked right here on the, actually we're above it right now, 2 cents, 2.6, right? As soon as we close back here on the monthly, we got 14 days left on this single candle. If we can close back here in 14 days, which we're already above, then what we're going to have to see is we're going to see this orange line play out, where orange is going to snap us to the closest monthly IRL, which right now is up here, right? How do I know whether you're too early? I'll get to that in a second. Yeah, so this one is going to take the nearest monthly, which was never tapped. Actually, let me clean this up a little bit right here. So it's like right there, as you guys can see, right? That monthly IRL, that gap right there. It might be closer to like this, but you get the point. Basically what's going to happen is if we can't close this candle anywhere lower than this orange line, which we're already above, then the monthly is going to play out as a monthly extension back up to 18 cents. Now we got to think 3 steps ahead. If we get back up to 18 cents and then we are unable to close under 8 cents, which is the previous equal lows from that range, guess what's going to happen? It's going to go straight back up to previous range balance again, which is the monthly on the 80 cents, guys. And then guess what? The same thing is going to repeat again and again and again until the weekly fractals play out to possibly a new all-time high. But in this case, I'm taking this to like $1 to $2, right? $1 to $2 on a zero. I have 15%, roughly 16% of my account on 10x leverage playing this, right? So that's like almost tripling my account if I get to 2.2, if we get to 2.2 to 1. So you got to stay patient, you got to stay risk managed, and just play the low time frame confluences against the high time frame ones. And right now, everything is lining up. The stars are aligning, guys. So all we need is this daily, right? This daily, if this daily can't make it past underneath orange in the next, 6 days. 6 days. We have 6 days left to make it under orange. If we can't make it under orange, I'm adding more. I'm going to go to 20% on 10x, because all that's going to happen is it's going to confirm the low, right? We do this. Guess what? We do this, and then this becomes our SMR, guys. And this is so insanely bullish on the weekly that we're going to see another impulse all the way back up to 80 cents, possibly even higher, right? And then we're just going to keep rebalancing because that'll be the all-time low confirmed, right? So I'm giving you guys the all-time low on this one. So hopefully you're taking that as well. I got in early. I'm down like about 1K, but I'm not worried because we're going to be taking this to all-time high, possibly. So what else? XRP. Okay, so for XRP, I think the weird thing about XRP here is that it's super balanced from this range. I think it made the weekly closure bullish, right? And I think, Wheelie, I showed this to you earlier. This weekly closure already is bullish, but the quarterly hasn't played out yet, but the quarterly is still green. We flipped green on the quarterly. So when we extend, I'm leaning closer towards blue or green or orange, right? Blue or orange. If we can get blue or excuse me, if we can get blue or orange, then I would expect XRP to make a possibly new all-time high, but I would expect it to be very short-lived. I don't know what the extension is going to be because it's a quarterly candle. Quarterly candles can go up to like 9 to 10, probably the -4 extension, probably 15. Again, it will be a very heavy wick. It'll be very fast and it'll be a very heavy wick. I don't want to take XRP personally. I was in it for a bit, Wheelie, as you call, but I'm like, it was just chopping around for a bit. It was like messing with me, so I'm just not going to bother trying to fight it. But another reason why I do not like it is because of this range, this weekly. We have weekly ERL here, so we could still take this week or this month, right? This monthly could still rebalance to those lows. So if I was to take this, my stop would need to be very wide. I need to have a very wide stop. So I do not like this yet. I don't like this. So I'll keep that on there. I'll keep that up for now. But yeah, XRP, I don't have the best read on it, but I'm a little bullish, but I still wouldn't take it from this range personally. Cool. What else do we have? Any other coins? Can you take a look at ZBCN? I don't think I've ever seen that. What is this? What is this coin? I have never heard of this one. Oh, weird. I had something a while ago, but I never even touched it since then. What do we got? Oh, interesting. It's on its second leg up. This is a little bearish. This is a little bearish on the high time frame, guys. I'll admit. So we have it's on it because it's already on its second leg up, right? So we have a rebalance here. So let's take this range. So from this range to the weekly low, let's do the rebalance from there, right? So there's our two ranges. Let's zoom into the 8-hour maybe. Yeah. So it'll be something like this, right? I'm going to do 8-hour range. This is like very quick and dirty. We go up, take this range, back down, possibly reconsolidate back down to there, all the way down to 1, and then possibly bounce from there. Personally, this looks like a washing machine. I probably wouldn't take it. We have a pump here going, right? But this is going to be a very short-lived pump. Unless the weekly can take it, right? This weekly is I don't know. This weekly is the monthly looks very bullish, but I would say it depends on the next like 2 weeks based on the monthly. I would say possibly pumps, but like again, if you're taking a long here, where's your risk anchor? Where's your stop? Are you stopping out here? This is a tiny trade, right? Tiny move. This is personally, I wouldn't take this. I wouldn't take this long here. So yeah, that's ZBCN. Been on a tear. I think it's going to continue on a tear a little bit, but it's going to run out of steam very soon. Just keep in mind. Just keep that in mind. Its structure is going to run out of steam here a little bit. A little bit. Arrow, no problem. Arrow. Oh, you know what's funny is I drew this up for you guys a while ago. Look at that. I said, oh yeah, if we get into 497, that'd be a great long. And look at where we are now, right? I should have taken my own trade. I don't know why I didn't take this. I shouldn't take it. I was like, oh yeah, let's wait till 497. Maybe I just never. Oh, that was it. I set an alert for a closure. We never actually even closed. We were so bullish. We wicked right into 6.2 and then closed right above it. So I never got alerted on this. That's hilarious. This is so bullish now. Sorry, my dog's barking in the background. That's rare. But let's see. So for this one, I'm still very, very bullish on Arrow. We have our monthly, I think. Monthly, weekly? No, it's a weekly. Yeah, weekly at 1.2. What, 130 cents. But entry-wise, a little rough where we are now. I wouldn't take the entry here. Possibly wait for a re-range. Possibly something like, I want to see something like this. I want to see up and then a re-range, possibly down to like balance down here at like 5.2 and then retest that. So something like that would be perfect. Something like that would be perfect. I'll clean this up a little bit. If we take this from that range, yeah, something like that would be perfect. We want to see a higher high made and then a lower low made, right? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Nothing like simple market structure, right? Nothing like simple market structure right there. So what I'll do for this one is I'm going to take an alert break of 704 instead. So hopefully it closes this time under 704. I wouldn't take a long here. I would wait for the re-range and then retest of 704 and then take it from like under 704. Roughly. I mean, this is just something I did in 3 seconds, so maybe I'll take a little bit more time later to do this. But for now, between 6.5, 6.1, 6.1, that'll be the long down here, right there. And then we can take it all the way up to like $1, possibly even higher. Actually, this range is pretty good. This range is pretty good to like all the way maybe to $2. So looking good there. Looking good. Awesome. So let's see what else is next. Let's see, Arrow. Yes, I did Arrow. TLDR, 100K XRP. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I'm not going to be in it this time, but I don't care if it goes to 100K. I'm just like, I don't like XRP's range here at all. Also, I'll do YiFi, Yearn, and then let's do OP, and then, yeah, let's do Dusk. So Yearn is kind of interesting because I sort of expected it to go down first, but it went up first. So my range here is actually kind of clean. I sort of want to see the lows broken, because of this weekly, right? This weekly right here, we tapped this IRL right here. We tapped it. So this was already kind of bearish. So from this range, I want to see something like this. We push up possibly to 54 and then go all the way down and break the low, right? Break the low. We break the low and then we go really far, right? Actually, Yearn is looking much nicer now for a short. I was going to try and put a short up here, but now it's actually, this range is a little better. So let's take it from the daily here. What's this daily look like? Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. But something like that I want to see, right? Shorts coming up. This one is actually pretty good. I'm going to do an alert on this one. For short at 54, I'll do a 54 break. I'll remove this one. And then instead, do a 54 break on the hourly. This one's pretty good. Yearn short. Great. So this one, I'll keep on watch. I think what we want to see is we want to see break of 55. Break of 55, that'll be the short. And then closures back below 54. And we take it to all-time low, basically. Because of this weekly range here, we have these wicks. This wick has never been taken, right? This range has been taken to the highs, right, up here. We've never taken this range. We've never taken this range to the lows yet. So I would expect the range to be taken to the lows before we shift state, right? We shift to the state of the machine, the algorithm goes back to the high, right? Something like that. So the next pump on Yearn is going to happen after we break 4K, and it will bring us back into range, high time frame range of 2K. So something like this, right? 2K consolidation, and then straight up from there. Possible new all-time high after that, right? Because we're going to keep re-ranging higher after that. So that's going to be Yearn. It's going to be amazing, amazing long, but a little early on the long. So not long quite yet. I'm going to wait on the short, but it is also looking pretty good. It's almost ready, almost ready. Cool. So Dusk. Let's do some Dusk, and then NKN, and then got to take a water break real quick. So Dusk. I had this drawn up a little while ago. I think we pierced the all-time low one more time. We tapped our standard deviation fib. So these are high confluence levels already. We are very close, which is kind of interesting. We're very close to seeing a break and mount. We want to see a break and mount of 5-6. We're not quite there yet, but if we can break and mount 5-6, then this would be good to continue. Basically from there, this would be the deviation, and we basically see the all-time low from there, right? Because as soon as we break and mount 5-6, we're gonna go to IRL at 745, and then we break and mount that, and then we're basically gonna just keep breaking and mounting every level until the closest one is like all the way up here, roughly at 881. So something like that happens, and then I don't know what will happen after that, but something like that happens. Maybe on the weekly. Let's look at the weekly real quick. Maybe a re-range from there. Yeah, I have this set up. This is a pretty nice consolidation, right? Re-range from here, possible dump, and then continuation from there, and then possibly all-time high, right? Something like that would be very, very clean, very, very nice. And this is the all-time low on Dusk if we make it. So I think I was a little early on Dusk. But what's good is that we just need to hold through this a little bit longer, break and mount 5 cents, 5.56, right? 5.6, and then we basically break them out 7.4 after that. If we can do those two things, then the all-time low will be confirmed, because all we're going to be doing is rearranging on the weekly from this low, right? We got 3 drives and that's it. We're going to rearrange weekly. When we do a weekly retest, it's only going to go back down to 7.4, right? 7.4, and that'll be the all-time low again. Or sorry, this will be the retest of the previous range all-time low, and then we bounce to a new all-time high from there. So that's thinking like 30 steps ahead for you guys right now, but hopefully that helps. And then NKN. Actually, for this one, what I'll do is I will set an alert on the closure daily above 5.6, because that'll be the good confirmation this all-time low is in. Dusk ATLN. Right, there we go. And then NKN. So NKN also very bullish on, very, very bullish on. We're a little early on that as well, again. But what'll be funny though is if we can consolidate here, this is still bullish, right? This is still bullish. We actually, oh wow. No, this is actually still very bullish. Still very bullish here. If we can break him out 27, then this is never looking back. Never looking back from there. NKN is also looking amazing from this range. You could probably take it and then risk anchor to like 1.6 and then keep adding. I think this is a big good one actually. What I'll do is I'll set this one's good too. I think I needed a re-add to this one. 8 hour. I'll do a 2 hour add on 2.7. That'll be a good one. 2.7 cross. Once we do a 2.7 cross on 2 hours, long confirm on the 2 hour, right? So basically once we want to range into this, I'll take it on the higher range. We keep breaking and mounting those ranges and it will basically just go straight up right from there. Same thing. The structure here is so weak to the bear side where we can just take this basically all the way back up to like 17 cents roughly. Possibly even higher, right? I have these marked out as well on NKN. 17 to 21 cents as well. Daily's open right there on 21. So basically, yeah, this is going to go straight up if we can hold this range. So this will be one that I keep adding to every day and take the TPs once we get back up into those range highs. Awesome. Good. I'm going to take a sip of water and I have about like 5 minutes left. Do you guys have any more coins? Post them in chat. Okay. ENA, DGen, Surrey. Those are the last 3. Okay. I'll see if I can do these quickly. ENA, I'm going to clean this up actually. ENA is not valid. My previous ENA is not valid. One of the things I do not like about ENA's range is how wick heavy and how much ERL liquidity is built up on both sides. I would almost say, think of it this way. This is the range high right now. This is the range low. All we're doing is we're rebalancing. We're basically like, if you were to draw a fib between these two levels, look at this. We're technically in discount right now, right? We're technically in discount, but this range low is still closer, right? We're still closer to this range low than we are to this range high. So I would be skeptical of longing or shorting ENA here based on how balanced this range is. We have no SMR to go on. This one, except down here, this is the only one. We could put our stop down there. That's the only safe stop loss in this entire chart. Everything else is unsafe on the daily, right? Everything else. If you're holding it for a scalp, great, but power to you. Personally, I don't like tiny moves, but I would almost expect ENA to do something where we, go into this 3-3. And if we can't make it above this 3-3, guys, it's going to be bad news for those bulls, right? They're going to get slapped. If we can break this 3-3, maybe. That's why I have an alert. You see teal here. I have an alert right at teal. If we can break 3-3, then we are going to 48 for sure. But right now this is a completely unconfirmed and we're completely rebalanced. So I wouldn't short here. I wouldn't long here. I mean, maybe a short, maybe, but I wouldn't long here. And if we clear this range, I would definitely short there because there's so much liquidity up here. If we consolidate, that would actually end up being bearish unless we can break and mount it again. So ENA's range, absolutely terrible here personally on the high time frame. I really do not like it. But I would wait to break on either side. If we can reject and then take 24 and then bounce, that would be great. That would be perfect. But if we can't, then whatever. I'll take it from a different range. Hopefully that helps. ENA is way too balanced here. Again, just would not. I mean, if you're longing it, be careful. Just be very careful. Structure is not good here for high time frame swing longs. Swing shorts maybe. If you anchor your stop at 68 or 38 cents. Actually, this is a pretty good stop right here. If you anchor your stop at 38 cents, then for a short, that would actually be pretty decent. That would be a pretty decent move. But I still wouldn't take it. Maybe I would take it. Maybe we'll see from there. Degen. Let's do Degen, and then I'll do Sui, and that's it. So Degen, I drew Degen up for you actually last week. I think you asked me this earlier, HPS, right? I think you asked me this one before. Someone did. If it wasn't you, someone did, because I drew this up. And what's funny is like, oh yeah, I would set limits right here. And you guys know I'm not BSing you. I literally just pulled this chart up. I did not redo this chart ahead of time. I did this chart ahead of time, right? I would set a limit down here. And look, if I did set that my own trade, my own limit, it would have failed. It would be in profits by now. But I didn't. But that is neither here nor there. Point being, Degen, structure-wise, very bullish from this range. We did support the OTs, optimal trade entry for the long bias here. If we consolidate in this range, basically anywhere in this zone, right? If we consolidate anywhere in this green box, I'll delete the other lines for you so you guys know. Any consolidation here is bullish, right? So if you risk anchor against this low or this low, and then keep adding, this is going to be a very clean long all the way up to like 2 cents, maybe. 1 to 2 cents, maybe. This will be a good long. So yeah, great stuff from there. Personally, I don't know. I'm not a fan of this coin, so I'm not gonna probably take it. But whatever, you can do you. Sui. Sui is kind of funny because I am looking to short it, but it's actually now turning bullish, which is strange. I thought we were gonna push to the highs first, but we pushed to the lows first. So I got to revamp my bias here a little bit because it's actually now bullish. Because if we pushed that high first, it would have been bearish. But now we're looking a little bullish from here. Daily, weekly. Let's see what else we have. Weekly. Okay, so let me clean this chart up a little bit. Weekly close. There's our weekly close right there for confirm. Orange. I'll make it orange or yellow. I'll do a weekly close greater than Sui long confirm. This is the only chart you need, guys. I literally drew one line on this chart. One line. That's it. I'm not going to take anything here on Sui, but I would say if this deviation holds from the structure, I would only be bullish if we can close the next 6 days above 3.15. The reason why I say that is because the structure does have some pretty hefty gaps to the downside. This structure overall in the high time frame does have liquidity down here. This is a little worrisome, right? Which means that on the next 6 days, we need to break this and we need to mount it. If we do not break this and mount this, the same thing's going to happen. We're going to go up a little bit, and then we're going to go straight back down like that. We're going to go like this. Okay? It's looking bullish. It is. But it is unconfirmed bullish. This is one of those charts that just are currently unconfirmed bullish, right? We would need to clear this range in order to do that. So we would need to do something like this. We would need to push, market structure break, retest, and then bounce from there. So that would be the yellow, right? That would be the only bullish case, bearish case from here. I am not taking either. Again, either. Because this is not, I don't know. Yeah, unconfirmed either way. Another chart, right? Another chart I'm looking at that's basically slightly bullish, but unconfirmed either way based on the structure alone. Based on the structure alone, that's it. I mean, this is not safe either down here. So flat OB on the orange. So very, very balanced, right? You draw This is the high time frame liquidity levels right here, guys. You draw one here, draw one there. Let's draw the fib between the two, right? And look at this. I draw a line right here. I'll draw it as purple. Easy peasy. This is the balance. Look at that. Price is really, literally, basically right at balance. Price has been completely rebalanced by the market makers. They have not chosen a side. They have not chosen a direction to take this yet, bullish or bearish. So we cannot, I'm not taking either side until we get a confirmation here. So hopefully that answers your question. Okay, awesome. Great. Well, that is all for today. Hopefully that was insightful, and we will go from there. And yeah, let me know if you guys have any other questions. My DMs are always open. I'll post this recording a little later in one of my channels, I think the Ask channel. And yeah, hit me up if you have any questions, and hopefully stay green. Have a good rest of your week, guys.